Oh, yay. I'll start over again. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, so again, welcome. Welcome to Functional Primal Flow. Today's focus is on sitting to standing. So we'll practice getting up from the ground from a seated position to standing. We'll start off lying down on our mats with the knees resting in towards each other, feet slightly, or feet as wide as the mat, hands wherever you like, wherever you feel like you need extra love. It can be grounding to place both hands on the lowest part of your belly as you feel what it feels like to be in your body right here, right now, without any judgments or expectations. Feel all the feels. Allow this mat to be a rectangle, a refuge, a safe space to just be as you are, to simply be, as we explore a practice of self-inquiry, bringing in a sense of playfulness and curiosity. You know, sometimes when we hear self-inquiry, it can bring about a sense of seriousness or too much seriousness. Already begin to drop the seriousness from your face, soften your face, relaxing your jaw as we maintain a soft face practice as we explore sitting to standing. And then take your hands, your fingertips to your sternum. Right? You can start off where the bottom two ribs meet and just gently massage here. It's a gentle suggestion with your fingertips to unburden anything that is holding your heart heavy. There's also lots of cross fibers here, junctions of muscles on the chest. Allow this to be a gentle reminder to soften this area. And after you've done that, reach your arms up to the sky, palms together. Let's free our wings. Being within certain limitations of our environment, this area can get kind of sticky. Let the shoulder blades be heavy. Keep the fingertips together and squeeze the elbow straight. And little movement side to side as one shoulder blade lifts, the other lowered. Very subtle. Let's tap into the subtle, getting unstuck. Yeah. And then bring it to center. Good morning. Bring it to center. Reach right fingertips up. Let the right shoulder blade lift and switch. Do that about 5 more times each direction with the intention of moving through any areas of stagnation and stuckness, physically, mentally, emotionally, as you unburden yourself of anything you're carrying. It's not yours to carry. Meet, center, interlace the hands behind your head, elbows wide. Release the neck, elbows close together on your exhale, curling inward. Lift the tailbone slightly. And then slowly lower down. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, elbows together, nodding the chin inward, slightly lifting the tailbone. As you curl up 4, 5 more times. Own breath. Relaxing the jaw. You want to add a little jaw action. Open your mouth as you lower the head down, elbows wide. And as you exhale, curl up. Open elbows and jaw wide. And curl. Be a nice way to release tension in the face as well. And your head is heavy. in your hands. So it's your hands that are lifting up your heavy head. And then we'll meet center. Release your arms at the side, straight out from your shoulders. A couple windshield wipers here, side to side. About 3, 4 more times. Own breath. Let the shoulder blades be heavy. Let the back of the skull stay nice and long. And after your last round, let's bring it to center. Bring the feet together, knees together. Hug your right knee in towards your chest and circle within the hip socket 3 times each direction. The femur bone, the thigh bone in the hip socket. And after the last round, interlace your hands behind your right thigh and point your right foot as you extend the right leg and flex the ankle as you bend the right knee in towards the right side of your chest. About 4 more times like that. Right, you flex and you bend the knee. Point and straighten, pressing the thigh bone into your hand. Own breath. So we'll begin to articulate through the joints of the foot, the ankle, as we warm up the back of the leg, the front of the leg. And after your last round, we'll cross right knee over left knee, arms out to the sides again, and lower your knees halfway to the left, turn your head to the right, and exhale, using your core to bring it back to center. 4 to 5 more times like that. So we're easing our way to our outer hips, our spine, our cervical spine, only lowering about halfway. Extending out from that area that we massaged through your fingertips. After your last round, let's meet with the knees as far down to the left as you like, easing to the right. And lengthen your outer right hip away from your right armpit. Breathing fully into the perimeters of your physical being. Back of the waist, back of the ribs, front, back, and sides. And slowly, using your core, bring the knees to center. And then hug your knees in towards your chest, holding onto back of thighs, shins, maybe outer ankles. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Side to side if you want. Slowly unravel. Both feet on the ground, knees together, and hug your left knee in. Circle it around. 3 to 4 times each direction. Notice what's going on with the base of the neck, base of the skull, soften there. Soft jaw. And we'll meet. Plug your left knee in, interlace the hands behind the left leg. Point the foot, so plant or flex, and extend your leg, relax the shoulders, and then dorsiflex and bend the knee in towards the left side of your chest. About 4 more times, own breath. Noticing our movement options in the feet and in your ankles. And after your last round, we'll meet left knee over right knee, arms out to the sides, and then lower your knees halfway to the right, and your head to the left, using the strength of the core to bring the knees to center. About 4 or 5 more times like that. So as you bring the knees to center, you're taking the sides of the waist down to the ground. Keep on, keeping on. And we'll meet with the last round with the knees to the left, gaze to the right. Outer right hip moves away from the right armpit. Accepting the external support of the ground so the muscles don't need to work overtime. And same with your internal support system. Your breath is supporting the architecture of your body, your skeletal system, again, so the muscles don't need to grip or work overtime. Using the core, bring it back to center. Plug the knees in. Again, hands behind the thighs, shins, ankles. And use the ground, the mat, for feedback where the breath is flowing. Back body. Breathe into the back of your ribs. We have joints, but simply joints of where the ribs and the spine meet. And through the breath, by directing our breath in that area, we're able to acknowledge the potential for more movement and mobility to accommodate a fuller, nourishing breath. And then slowly releasing, and extend your legs in front and reach your arms overhead. Big body yawn. And as you exhale, slide your upper body and your lower body to the right. And the right hand can grab onto left forearm. And left ankle could cross, or right ankle. Oh, whatever one feels better. Over one ankle over the other. Breathing into the sides of your body, or you can even keep the feet together and awaken the legs and press and extend for your ankles, your heels for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Bring it back through center and to the left side. This side might be really different. Meet yourself where you are. Left hand grab onto right forearm. Be mindful that you're not over-efforting the front of the body. Belly and ribs soften down. And again, breathing into the back and the sides. The space is in between your ribs. Acknowledging length in the side body, self-worth, self-value. Bring it back to center. Big body on and exhale. Bend the knees, hug them into your chest. Rock it side to side. Maybe a couple circles along the sacrum, each direction. And then 3 rock and rolls forward and back. Rhythm of your own breath. Then we'll meet in a seated position and feet as wide as your mat. Hands by your sides, windshield wipers with our legs, with our knees side to side. Rhythm of your own breath. And so we're exploring internal and external rotation of your thigh bones in your hip sockets. Now you can stay here or bring your hands to your heart. Or interlace your hands behind your head. Let's screw you over here. It becomes a little bit more of a core workout. Core awakening, rather. Now you're going to stay here, or feel free to use your hands behind you to do this. Use your sitting bones and bring your tailbone forward as you stand up on your knees, belly and ribs soften in. And then mindfully as you can, lower down, knees the other direction. And using the sitting bone region, your glutes, to help lift you up. Raise it backward. And this is where the sense of humor can come in handy. We'll do that about 3 to 4 more times, each side, each direction. Be mindful that you're not popping the ribs forward. You're using the glutes to lift you and bring the pelvis forward, the belly and ribs in. Maybe a slight looking inward as you transition through center. It's more like a bridge-like action to lift up. And the sitting bones expand through the heart as you keep the ribs soft. And after your last round, let's meet center. Extend your legs out in front of you into stack pose. Press down. The hands lift the armpits broad into the chest and press your inner thighs down. Now circle the ankles around a couple times. And the other direction. And we'll transition now to hands and knees onto all fours. We prep the ankles, we'll prep the wrists. We'll explore wrist extension here. And explore placing your hand in a different angle each time. And exploring internal rotation and external rotation. So it's as if you're going around the numbers on a clock in a fair and friendly way. You're only lingering for a moment with each angle. And for less intensity, you may need to change the position of your hands to be further away from you. Or you could start off with the wrist underneath your shoulders. A couple more times. Called graded exposure. Exploring different angles and loads. Balance out our habitual patterns of movement. Center, and now wrist flexion. And again, you might need to change where your hands are. You might need to walk the knees even closer to your hands for less intensity. And same thing here, exploring different angles, internal rotation, external rotation. You could revisit any of those angles that feel like you need more time in, but make sure you're breathing and you're softening your face with your eyeballs. We'll bring it to center. Onto your hands and knees, all fours. And belly ribs soften up. For more hip love. Bringing the right knee forward and circle the right knee around. Do that about 4 or 5 more times this direction. Stay broad through the collarbones. Be mindful you're not dumping into that left hip. Try to distribute the weight evenly. The hands, that outer left hip, tugging in, and then make sure you do about like 5, 6 the other direction. Taking this time to acknowledge our movement options, possibilities in our hip joint. After your last round, bringing it to center, and then round the spine, curl the toes under, so cat pose, and bring your hips back. We'll do 2 times like that before we transition to the other side. Inhale forward into more neutral spine. Exhale round. And bring the hips back. One more time. Neutral. Exhale round. And hips back. Bring it forward, neutral spine. And we'll hip circle on the left side. Left knee forward, back and around. Be mindful that you're not pumping into your lower back. And firming that outer right hip in and back. 5 to 6 times each direction. Broaden through the collarbones. Meet. Center, and this time come onto the tops of the feet, walk your hands back and have a seat on your heels at any time. If it's too uncomfortable for your feet, you can stand on up, stand on your knees. Relax your hands on your thighs. Couple head rolls, neck rolls. 3 to 4 times each direction. We're taking time to warm up our joints, prep them to help support us in the bigger movements. And then after your last round, head center, turn your chin, your head, no, right to left a couple times. Chin center, and chin up and down. Make sure you're not throwing your head back. You're maintaining a sense of length through the back of the skull, through the movement. And let's bring it to center. Interlace your hands, a little bit more wrist prep, circle the wrist, 5 to 6 times each direction. Important to prep the wrist and sort of arm balancing or load on our hands. And then expand the arms out. An internal, external rotation. So you can make like this. Internally rotate or keep the thumbs up and rotate them back and down, and then down and back. Internal and external rotation. Rhythm of your own breath. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open wide, like you're about to receive a big hug from yourself, which you are. Right elbow underneath the left, opposite hand, opposite shoulder, or back of the wrist, or crossing at the wrist palms together. Lift the back of the heart, and exhale, round inward. Breathe into the space in between your shoulder blades. Let's circle. Bottom right corner, top right corner, top left. 3 times total, each direction. You can even let your chin follow the direction of your elbows. Make sure you do 3, each direction. And we'll bring it to center, open up your wings, and exhale. Big hug, other elbow underneath, back of the hands, cross of the wrist. Keep the lower back nice and long and lift the back of the heart. And as you exhale, round inward. And circle starting with the left bottom corner around 3 times, each direction. And after your last round, open your wings, open up, and exhale. Hands to your thighs. Standing up on your knees. Curl your toes under to counterbalance there if you need. And if it helps you, you can also come onto your hands and knees. We're going to transition to a kneeling position, but again now our knees, our inner thighs, we're going to rotate our inner thigh bones inward, so internal rotation. So the feet are a little bit wider than the hips, tops of the feet. And from there you can bring your hips back. We'll do a little flow here. Internal rotation, first acknowledging the awkwardness of it. And also feel free to pat up your knees if you need a blanket or a pillow. So from here, using the sitting bones and that action of the tailbone coming more forward, look inward. You're going to round through the spine and then curl or open up here. A wave-like action coming up. That's what I was trying to say. And then on the way down, it will be more of an extension. You can take your knife edge of your hand to your hip creases so that you hinge your hips back as you come down. And then look inward and wave-like action and come back on up. You do that about 4 or 5 more times. So bringing the tailbone more forward, using the bottom fibers of your glutes to come up, and then hinging at the hip crease to lower down. 4 to 5 more times. Rhythm of your own breath, total. So long spine, belly and ribs in. As you curl up, head the last thing to come up. Make sure you're breathing. And after your last round, we'll meet standing on our knees. This time, bring your feet directly behind your knees, feet hip width apart, and reach the arms up. We're going to do some sun salutations on our knees. And as you exhale, however you want, you can sweep the arms by the sides and around, child's pose, come down. Inhale, float it forward onto your hands and knees. And then as you exhale, curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. For this down dog, feel free to, first one, pedal it out, move it any way that feels good. And we'll flow between those shapes. Inhale, shoulders over wrists, knees lower down, and child's pose. Root down, rise up, pressing the tops of the feet down, shins down, knees down to lift up. Child's pose again as we flow. Forward into hands and knees, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Inhale, lower the knees down. Exhale, hips back, child. Inhale, stand on your knees, root down, rise up. And flowing to child's pose again. Let's do that 3 more times. Rhythm of your own breath. Allow this to be an opportunity to tap in to yourself. What's your rhythm today? What's your rhythm right now? Keeping that awareness of the back body, right, as you use your glutes to help you be supported, help support you from this action of sitting to standing. You think of it as a gesture of having your own back, right, as you awaken the back line of your body. Unhurried, unrushed. We'll meet, again, no rush. We'll meet in downward facing dog. As we meet down dog, we pedal it out. Then lift your heels, bend your knees, and exhale. Step your right foot forward. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot as you walk your right foot to the right just a little bit. And circle your hips, little circles. Curious circles. About 5 times each direction. 5, 6 times. Slowly step it back. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Lift your heels, bend your knees, left foot forward. Both hands inside of your left foot. Walking the left foot to the side a little bit. Circle around. About 5, 6 times. These circles to balance out our linear living. Relaxing the shoulders. Supported by the breath. Bring it to center, downward facing dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Ragdoll, bend your knees a lot. Belly supported by the thighs. Unload your spine. You can flip your palms up as a gesture to let go of anything that is no longer serving you positively. You may have at one time, but right here, right now, it does not. Press to the heels. Palms can flip down. Roll on up. Belly flies in and up. So roll it on up. Standing. 3 shoulder circles at the top. And we'll make our way to the top of the mat. Feet can be inner hip width distance apart. Reorientate yourself in space here as you take a stand in your mountain pose. You can think of anything that you would like to stand for, stand in. Self-care. Rooting down through the feet. Make sure you have some weight of your heels, of your pelvis. The heels of your pelvis lengthening through the heels of your feet. So some weight in your heels there. And then root down, rise up. Extended mountain pose. Interlace your fingers, release index fingers and thumbs. Looking jar around about 4 or 5 times each direction. As you maintain this sense of standing on your own 2 feet. And after your last round, separate your hands, open up, gaze up at the sky, and exhale. Bring your hands to your heart, hinge at your hips, and fold forward, bending the knees. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, hands to the ground, you can step up or float it back. And as you exhale, lowering down with or without knees, locust, cobra, or upward facing dog. Whatever you feel like you need. And exhale, transitioning to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, and exhale, you can step up or float to the top. Halfway lift, standing on your own 2 feet, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, pressing through the feet, and exhale, hands to your heart. Again, root down, rise up, inhale, exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway lift, you're pressing through the feet to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, hands on the ground, step up or float it back. A low push-up, with or without knees. Locust, cobra, upward facing dog. You're still strong through the feet. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Bringing more of the weight back into your feet as you lift your heels, bend your knees, hips back. Exhale, step up or float to the top. Halfway, fold, root down, rise up, and exhale, hands to your heart 2 more times, rhythm of your own breath. Maintain this sense of breath and also standing on your own 2 feet. Whatever that means to you, bringing that into your sun salutations, your sun A's. Again, unhurried, unrushed. Maintaining a sense of pressing the ground away in order to stand up, take a stand. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Taking child's pose whenever you need. Let's meet on our knees. You may need a blanket for this. We'll practice transitioning from kneeling to standing. We'll start off with the arms in front and keeping the back of the skull nice and long, so spine nice and long. And then lifting up from your sitting bones onto your knees. Curl your toes under, embrace awkward, sense of humor. Then you're going to lower the hips down and then lift your knees up. The heels may be lifted. You can use fingertips to practice with that transition. Then lower the heels down and press yourself up to standing. You can even press the palms back, the way of like assisting yourself to standing, and pressing down to the heels, and you use the bottom fibers of your glutes to lift. Let's do that reverse. So it's as if you're coming into a deep squat, and then lift your heels and spine long, like as if it's sliding down the back of the wall. And you can even use your hands to press back as you lower your knees as mindfully as you can and lift up. And tops of the feet, and lower your hips down. Again, Reach the arms forward, stand on your knees, curl your toes under, bring the hips back towards your heels, lift the knees. And as you make your way to standing, as the heels lower, press the arms back without the ribs popping out. We'll do that again. Reach the arms forward, squat. Lift your heels back up against the wall. Keep your arms forward until the knees land. I find that one's better. And then press the wall behind you away as you use your glutes to lift you. Taps the feet and have a seat on your heels. Do it about 4 more times. Arms forward, rhythm of your own breath. Tuck the toes under, bring the hips back, lift. Lower the heels. As the heels press down, press back. Glutes lift you. Own breath. Sense of humor. You need more padding for your knees. Glutes, go for it. And lower down. So 4 times total. So you're hinging at the hips as you bring the hips back towards the heels. And then as you shift the weight back, the heels or the knees come in towards your chest. We're exploring our movement possibilities for extra compassion for wherever you are today, because you may not have explored these movement actions for a while now. That's because our modern day living is designed for ease of movement. It's nice to have ease of movement, but we move in response to our environment. So because of that, we have to be more aware of where our movement blind spots are. And try to sneak it into our everyday lives. You can do that by bringing some things lower to the ground, or if you have young kids, I try to sneak it in when I'm cleaning up the toys. And then picking up the Legos. I was like, ooh, how can I come up to standing in a different way? After your last round, that might happen too. The art of falling, that's how we learn. That's how we grow. We'll meet tops of the feet, kneeling, pause, notice any insights you may have gained about yourself. You can rock the hips side to side, a nice massage for your glutes and your ankles. Okay, downward facing dog. Let's stretch that out. Pedal it out. Now you're going to take your right foot forward, like we did before. Right hand inside of right foot to the right a little bit. Stay here or come down to your elbows. Meet yourself where you are. Any amount of the pose is the pose. You always want to take the shape in which you can breathe, where you have room for yourself and room for your breath. You don't want to create more contraction. Make sure you're taking a shape where you can be you. Meet yourself where you are. That's the practice. Slowly releasing, downward facing dog. Switching sides, left foot forward. The side might be different, here or onto your elbows. Be mindful you're not pressing the right thigh bone down. Have an element of the right thigh bone being integrated into the right hip socket. Breathe, relax your neck, relax your face. Another 3, 2, and 1. Downward facing dog. And now walking your feet forward. Bring your feet together, knees together, and open the knees to the side. We'll come into a squatting position. Now, if your heels come down to the ground, that's great. And if they don't, that's great too. My heel come down to the ground. but the direction is having the heels down to the ground. And then you can walk your hands forward and now squeeze. On the exhale, your knees towards your outer shoulders and ribs. That will light up the inner thighs, the pelvic floor, and the core. You're rounding forward with each exhale, belly and ribs softening to the back body, engaging the pelvic floor. With each inhale, allow your ribs to expand three-dimensionally. You can even use your knees or your thighs, your inner thighs, for feedback. Now you can stay here or explore one variation of crow pose. I'm going to place my hands shoulder width apart. I'm going to lift my knees higher than my elbows. I'll show you here. So knees higher than the elbows. And then look forward, and you can begin to come onto your toes, rolling through the feet a little bit more. Squeeze the knees in. So you have this element of squeezing in. Press the ground away, and you can lift up one foot and the other, or alternate. Which foot you lift for 3. Press the ground away, hug the knees in 2, 1. Step up, hop, or float it back. For fun, through a flow. Downward facing dog, pedal it out. And make your way onto your hands and knees. And for a breath or 2, crocodile pose. Overlap one hand on top of the other, elbows wide, forehead to your hands. Breathe your belly into the ground. On that inhale. And on the exhale, belly and ribs soften, shoulders soften. And slowly make your way again to hands and knees. Seated position. And try to start off at the top of your mat. I'll show you first before I do. Cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together, holding onto your feet. For this variation, the elbows could be closer in. Cobbler's pose here. Press the feet together. And then widen the knees away from your pelvis. You can lengthen the spine. Another 3, 2, 1. And now, like we did, similar how we did when we were doing crow pose in the squat position, hug your knees up. But have some resistance with your elbows. The elbows can be a little bit wider as well. Hug them in for 3, relax your shoulders. 2, and 1. Now we'll add a roll, and I'll show you. We'll start off in cobbler's pose, and we'll transition to rolling into a variation of plow pose. So you're going to inhale. You're going to bring your arms back, roll back, and feet towards your hands like this. Inhale, towards. If you have any neck issues, stick with cobbler's pose. So you'll bring the knees together, feet towards your hands, towards, and then roll up using your core to lift you up. So it's inhale, rolling back, and exhaling to lift you up. Yeah. It's fun to see a bunch of grown-ups rolling down the ground. Good stuff. Hard for me to be in a bad mood when I'm rolling around on the ground. We'll do that about 5 more times. Slightly addictive. Yay. Now you're only rolling to your shoulders, not to your neck. It's okay if your toes don't touch. Mine, most of the time, don't. And then the last round, you're going to stick with that, or we'll add a half squat, also sometimes called a primal squat, half primal squat. So instead of both my feet being together, my right heel will be in front of my right sitting bone about, and my left ankle about behind my right heel. So front heel and back ankle in alignment. Let's start off there. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll roll back. And I'll lift my hips a little bit as I reach my arms forward. And then switch. Good for the brain too. Left foot in front and close by. And lift the hips to hover. Embracing the awkward. So this is one variation of progressing towards sit to stand with no hands. Sit to stand with no hands, but feel free to use your fingertips by your sides if you need, so you can support yourself to feel what that feels like. We'll do about one more each side. Let the hips to hover just a little. So you begin to stand on that front foot and the top of the back foot. Okay, stick with that one, or this time you're going to place the front foot a little further away from you. And then we'll we'll roll our way into a lunge variation. So I roll back, right foot will be a little bit further away, and then I will lift my hips and take the left foot back behind me. Like this, roll down. So I'm placing the foot further away from me so that I have support as I move forward. And that other foot will come back behind you. So reach the front foot further away as you stand up. The back foot reaches back. Yeah. So something to progress to. So meet yourself where you are. We'll do one more each side. You may or may not find yourself traveling off the mat. Use your core to support the hips on the way down. So there's an up-like movement. Now we'll add standing. So you come into that lunge, press through the right foot or whatever foot's in front, like we did from kneeling, and press to the heel to stand. Take it to stand, standing on your own 2 feet, and then reverse. You can bring your hands to your heart. Bring the arms forward as you reach the hips back, and then arms overhead, feet towards hands, and switch whatever foot is in front. Embracing the awkward, unhurried, unrushed. Right, taking a stand using the glutes. Right, the glutes being one of the biggest muscles to help support this action of standing. And also to help support your spine, your lower back. Right, and through the movement, you can think of whatever it is you would like to enforce this sense of taking a stand for. Is there somewhere in your life that you can take a stand? I also like to use this as a practice of getting up when I fall down, right? To use my body, working with my body to strengthen the sense of standing back on up, standing on my own 2 feet. And we'll finish each side evenly. Ooh, nice little cardio benefit too. And we'll meet. Seated position, extend the legs out in front. Nice work. Shake it out. Way to roll. Way to roll. Let's lie down. Balance out all that rolling and awkward newness. Arms to the side, feet wide, windshield wipers, side to side. Couple times. And bring your knees center. Feet inner hip width distance apart, knees inter hip width distance apart. Arms down, palms down. Coming into flowing bridges. Make sure you're not popping those ribs out. lifting and lengthening. 5 more times. After your last round, we'll meet with the arms down, hips down, and this time lift your hips up and then roll onto your upper outer arm bones so the thumbs will be facing more down and the palms away, and you can reach towards your inner foot, If your hands are touching your inner foot, hug the two together. And shoulder blades snuggle closer towards the back of your heart. Energetically drag the heels back towards your hips to engage the hamstrings and the glutes for 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, releasing down. Now right ankle over left thigh bone for figure 4. Stay here or hug your left knee in towards the left side of your chest. Your glutes might really appreciate this because they worked hard to support you from sitting to standing. And then keep this shape. Release your arms to the sides, lower your left foot to the ground, and lower the shape to the left. So you're lowering onto your outer left hip and outer left thigh. Option, left hand holds onto right ankle. Permission for the outer right hip to release, shoulders release. And slowly releasing, bring it back to center. Switching sides, left ankle over right, right knee hugs into outer or right side of your chest. Make sure it's not to the center of your chest because that brings a lot of the weight to the left side. And to distribute the weight evenly through both feet and both sides of your hips. Speaking of feet, flex your left ankle. Slowly release, right foot to the ground, arms to the side. Now lower the shape to the right. It's as if the left foot is left down. You're standing on your left foot. Right hand, left ankle is an option. Giving permission for the outer left hip to relax, be heavy. And slowly releasing, bring it back up. And release, and feel free to take any other shape you need to help round out your practice. It could be happy baby. If you're taking a happy baby, grab onto the outer edges of your feet so your forearms are the inside of your knees and your shins. And you can use your hands to pull the pinky side of your feet down, knees to the ground. At the same time, press the inner feet up towards the sky as you hug your forearms and your shins together. So this is more of an active variation, as if you're standing on the wall or the ceiling. So 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Make your way into your resting shape today. Your resting shape. You can take the blanket and place it under your head so that your forehead is slightly higher or in line with your chin. Or you can roll it up and fill up the space in between the back of your neck and the ground. Or you can even take a pillow or the blanket, place it on your belly. And again, checking in, feel what it feels like to be in your body. right here, right now. Noticing any shifts or changes, in sensations and perspective. As you begin to soften from the inside out, allow your body to melt and spread across the floor. Invite more space in between your teeth. Even allow the tongue to rest at the bottom of your mouth and widen. The top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth to soften and widen. Releasing the breath. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to be supported by the ground and from the inside out. Stay here as long as you need or are able. If not, begin to deepen your breath. Bring the movement back to your fingers and your toes. Gently turn your head side to side. With awareness, bend your knees. Let them into your chest. Giving yourself a big hug of gratitude. Investing this time on your mat in this radical act of self-care. With awareness, slowly roll on over to whatever side you like. Pause. Head is the last thing to come on up as you push your way to seated position. Comfortable seated position. Eyes could be closed or soft gaze. And overlap your hands on top of your heart. Think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. We'll end together with one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Exhale, out. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be of benefit to us and everybody else around us. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.